So super agent Rich Paul went to Gilbert Arenas podcast, and the conversation basically started as, did LeBron James need the Miami Heat to win his first 2 titles as a NBA player? Now, Rich Paul started shifting the narrative and pushing, saying that the Miami Heat organization appreciate what LeBron James contribute to the success of the Miami Heat, but basically pushing back and clapping back the notion that LeBron James needed the Miami Heat. And this is not ancient history, folks. You could just do a quick Google search. And as extraordinary talented LeBron James was, he was drafted by Cleveland. He was born and raised in Akron, Ohio. Got to play for his hometown. Was very successful. Took that team to the NBA Finals versus the San Antonio Spurs. Even though a lot of people, now I like it. I love how Rich Paul and LeBron James picks and choose narratives that the media use for and against LeBron James. Notice how Rich Paul and LeBron James doesn't talk about how the media said that LeBron James took a bunch of bums to the NBA Finals. Notice how they don't find that disrespectful when it's a feather in their cap. All right. But when there's, I digress. So LeBron James is very successful with Cleveland. And as extraordinary talented and successful he was, consistently putting them into the playoffs, he just couldn't get the team over the hump. Now, one of the explanations or one of the excuses that these blind witnesses use, including the media, and I remember Stephen A. Smith said this on First Take, is, well, LeBron James couldn't get talented free agents to come join him in Cleveland. And the excuse was always, well, who wants to go to Cleveland? Cleveland's not Miami. Cleveland was not New York or Los Angeles, which is kind of funny because the Milwaukee Bucks won titles. The Chicago Bulls won titles. So there are some less desirable places in NBA history that have won titles. But for some reason, Cleveland is the destination where no one wants to go. As extraordinary, talented, and popular LeBron James was, he couldn't import free agents, NBA top free agents, to come join him to Cleveland. The second thing is he couldn't keep talent. Talent that they drafted didn't want to play for LeBron James. LeBron James, and everyone remembers this infamous viral moment when LeBron James said, "I'm taking my talents to South Beach." When LeBron James partnered up with Dwyane Wade and Chris Bosh, that made Miami even more attractive. You got those three. They're playing in Miami, the nightlife and all that stuff. You got, there's no taxes in Miami. You got Pat Riley, the Miami Heat winning organization. And that was the blueprint of people willing to go to Miami, taking pay cuts just to play with them. Out of their time there, they went to the finals 3 times. But they lost their first time losing the title to the Dallas Mavericks, which, Dallas is not a popular destination. But that team dismantled the Heels, sent them boys packing. Chris Bosh was crying in the locker room. That's how much it hurt. LeBron James was seen crying on the bench. Now, if it wasn't for the second season of the Heels, and if it wasn't for Dwyane Wade saying, you know what, I'm going to be Robin, I'm going to let LeBron James be Batman, and the rest they say was history, they started winning titles. But not only that, that first year was turmoil for LeBron James. He wanted to have his friends and family come to the practices and sit courtside. He wanted to, incorporate what he did in Cleveland. But Pat Riley and the coaching staff there, including the owner, was quick, fast, in a hurry, extinguishing all of that nonsense. They wanted a solid foundation, and they wanted to win the Miami Heat way. And that was the only time LeBron James was able to win back-to-back titles, back-to-back MVPs. Now, yes, when he left Miami, he won a title with the Cleveland Cavaliers, but he imported that blueprint that Rich Paul is claiming that, he didn't need the Miami Heat, but he needed the Miami Heat's experience, and he needed the Miami Heat blueprint, and he went to Cleveland, which, by the way, Cleveland had plenty of money to spend in that first year. They already drafted Kyrie Irving, and he took that blueprint to Cleveland to only win one title there. Once they got over the salary cap and they purged all their young talent, plus Kyrie Irving wanted to leave because of LeBron James, when there was no talent there, he took his talents once again to the Los Angeles Lakers. Once again, the Los Angeles Lakers, they had Magic Johnson as the GM. They were under the salary cap. They've been drafting pretty well. And when LeBron James went there, everyone thought, well, with LeBron James, with Lonzo Ball and B.I. and all that young talent there, they should win the title in the next couple of years. LeBron James got injured, missed half the season. And then they they got rid of all their young talent and all their draft picks for Anthony Davis. Now, they did win a title with LeBron and Anthony Davis. Everyone wants to everyone wants to delete the bubble title, saying the bubble title is different from any other title. I'm on record to tell you all titles are the same. It's just how we remember them. How we remember them is going to be different. But LeBron James, to his credit, won a title there. But people seem to forget the origin. LeBron James, before he went to Miami, if he would have stayed Cleveland for the rest of his career, he wouldn't have won any titles. Just think about it. He didn't want to be coached by an experienced veteran coach. That's why they always had the Paul Cyruses of the world coaching alongside LeBron James. LeBron James wanted to do things his way. That scares off, veteran coaches as well as GMs. There was no talent in free agency that was wanting to go play alongside LeBron James, because what has LeBron James proven at that particular time? Why would a Carmelo Anthony take a pay cut to play alongside LeBron James in Cleveland? Why would Dwyane Wade leave Miami, a winning organization, to go to Cleveland? Now, he did when he got a lot older, but when he was in his prime, he wasn't thinking about that. Why would anybody go to Cleveland when LeBron James hasn't even demonstrated he can win it on his own? So LeBron James wanted to do it his way, and it got Cleveland stuck on the runway. And LeBron James didn't start winning until he went to an organization that had won before. And they pushed against a lot of the things LeBron James wanted to import from Cleveland to Miami. He won 2 titles there. And then he bounced, took the blueprint with them, and went back to Cleveland when Cleveland was still rebuilding. They had plenty of money under the salary cap, and the rest, they say, was history. So Rich Paul sitting up here, if you want to, rewrite the history books and this, that, and the third, fine, go right ahead. But we all know exactly what happened. Just do a quick Google search. What LeBron James did before he went to Miami and what LeBron James did after he left Miami. If he didn't stop at Miami, he wouldn't have 4 titles. He went to the NBA Finals 6 or 7 times. He wouldn't be able to do that if he spent his whole career in Cleveland. Matter of fact, he wouldn't be playing 21 years in Cleveland. He probably would have retired 13, 14 years in Cleveland because he could never elevate Cleveland because he didn't have the winning mentality. He wanted to treat the Cleveland Cavaliers like a frat party where we come in, have a good old time. We horseplay around. I don't want a coach who has who has experience, who have won titles before. I don't want to be coached by Phil Jackson. A lot of you, even though Rich Paul and LeBron James called him a racist because he said posse. I mean, how many black people we hear call other black people posses? How many black people we hear call other black people, you're in a gang? That's a gang. Okay? He didn't want anyone to give him constructive criticism, to critique him, to mold him. And unfortunately, he had to go to Miami and start winning with Pat Riley and Spoles, which, by the way, he wanted to get rid of Spoles. But guys, tell me what you think. Rate, comment, subscribe. I'll see you in the next one. Deuces.